He's an NFL analyst for so many different outlets. You've seen him on NFL Network. You also hear him on Sirius XM NFL channel. Our friend Geoff Schwartz joining us. Geoff, good morning.
How you doing, buddy? Have you calling games this year for Stadium?
I am not calling the Conference USA games like you and I did last year on Stadium and Facebook Live. I'm not doing that. Are you doing it?
No, I'm just way too busy, and they do not give me enough coin to do those regularly.
So
too busy.
So when we called FAU Charlotte last year, that was one for the ages for both of us. That's just caught in amber like an old mosquito from the prehistoric days, huh? Yes,
and by the way, Charlotte this year is 4-3. It's shocking. They were like one of the worst teams I've ever seen play football last year, and now they go to Tennessee this weekend. They're getting 21 points. I might actually bet on the Charlotte 49ers this weekend.
Well, you are a hardcore fan and gambler if you're checking out the Tennessee and Charlotte line, and this is why we really enjoy your analysis here on the show. Le'Veon Bell, what's his end game here? We thought he was going to report after the trade deadline. That did not happen. Now people are saying he might not report for the next couple of weeks. What's his end game?
Well, he lost his game. His game was, I'm going to obviously find a way to hold out here. I'm going to make the Steelers understand how valuable I am and make them pay for not paying me. And it's backfired because James Conner is on pace to have a better season than Le'Veon Bell did last year. And the Steelers obviously haven't missed him very much. So his end game is just might as well hang out now and just sign, week 10 when you have to and come on in because he lost, man. I mean, he obviously tried to use what leverage he had and it backfired on him because it didn't work.
So if he reports week 10, that will accumulate the weeks that he needs, the service time he needs to become a free agent after the season. But if he comes in week 10, do you think the Steelers are going to utilize him, or will they just push him off to the side and use James Conner?
It's very interesting. With Le'Veon Bell's talent, I don't think you can just not play him. But I don't know how you get away from James Conner because he's playing well. He's getting better as the season goes on. So that's a good question, man. I think you would dress Le'Veon Bell and you play him and maybe you find some packages to put him in, but I think it'd be hard to say no to playing James Conner, in my opinion. I don't know how you would decide to move on from him unless the veterans on the offense, Ramon Foster and Pouncey and Big Ben, all those veterans, and Antonio Brown said, hey, coach, we want to play Le'Veon Bell when he comes back. But right now things are going well for them. They're starting to play good football again. And if they win this weekend in Baltimore, they're in charge of the North again. And I don't know how you would play him. He's very talented, but it's another example, by the way, of where I think the public generally overvalues running backs. Look, I play with great ones. I play with Adrian Peterson, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, who's having a fantastic year this year. Jamal Charles, D'Angelo Williams-Jones, they're fantastic players. But you can find a Philip Lindsay, a Matt Breida, all these guys at the end of Kareem Hunt in the third round, Kamara in the right, all these guys out of the first round. You can find running backs kind of whenever and plug them into your offense. So another example of running backs being overvalued by the public. And look, they overvalued there's NFL analysts, in my opinion, who overvalue running backs. I don't get it.
So do you think then the Giants made a mistake in drafting Saquon Barkley number 2?
Yes. I see this the entire time. I thought Eli would be better this year. So at the time they did it, I gave him a pass because I thought Eli had a little bit left in the tank. And there's obviously an issue with the line is not very good. But Eli's part of the problem too. But when you look at, I think Josh Rosen's going to be really good in the NFL. He was my favorite guy coming out and we've seen bits and pieces of him being really good. We've seen Sam Darnold be really good. But if you're the Giants right now and Justin Herbert decides to not come out into the NFL draft, who are you drafting this year to play quarterback for you? So now you maybe missed out on 2 years worth of young quarterbacks, or you've overdrafted in this draft to draft someone who's not really a top 3 pick, a quarterback. So yes, you should draft a quarterback. I don't understand the need. Barkley's a great generation. I've watched all their snaps. He is a great talent. Don't get me wrong, but they're 1-6, right? 1-7 with him. He has to help them win football games.
Geoff Schwartz joins us here, NFL analyst here on the DA show on CBS Sports Radio. want to go back to Adrian Peterson. You played with him. It looked like he was shot. Usually at this age, running backs are, especially one that has taken the punishment he has and has had the injuries he has had. What has made him resurgent again this year?
Yeah, I've been very surprised by this. I didn't think he'd be this player he was. But, look, it's a very simple answer in my opinion. And I've played with, for sure, 3 Hall of Famers. I think Eli is going to be up for debate. I think he should be in, but I played with 3 of them, and Adrian Peterson, Julius Peppers, and Steve Smith. And those guys, man, are just different. Like, their bodies are different. The way they recover from injury is different. The way they process the game is different. My brother played with Joe Thomas. I've talked with Joe. I've heard the stories about Joe and the way he was able to play the game. Obviously, we know how healthy he stayed for his career. They're just different, man. And, like, Adrian Peterson is healthy now. He looks like he has something to prove, and he's a different cat. Most guys, you're right, at his age, they're done playing football, especially with all the injuries he's had. But he's still plugging along. He still thinks, I saw it this week, he still thinks he could break Emmitt Smith's record, which is like 5 years away from having, from being able to do that.
It's amazing to watch AP do what he's doing again. Let me ask you about the Cleveland Browns here, because the Browns end up clearing out both Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley. My guess is Greg Williams isn't the long-term head coach for the Browns. Do you think that's an attractive job this offseason for somebody to come in and take over?
It's a great question. If you look at their talent alone, you'd say yes, it is an attractive job. They're very young. They're very talented. They play hard. There's obviously pieces around the team to build on. And if you looked at their team heading into the draft, what's their biggest weakness? Maybe left tackle. But they don't really have many weaknesses. They have talent all over the place. The problem is ownership. They're so dysfunctional, man. I mean, even yesterday, reports, or let's say Thursday, so it'll be Tuesday, reports that, like, no one on the team was told about the firing. They learned on Twitter. Like, that's not the way it works. John Dorsey, Jimmy Haslam, go tell your team, have a team meeting, tell your guys' coaches have been fired, tell them why they've been fired, tell them what the direction you want to go in. But it's a dumpster fire over there. So, you're firing GMs every couple of years. You decide, hey, we want to do this Moneyball approach, and 2 years later you fire everybody. Like, come on, man. So it's ownership. I don't think it's an attractive job because of the owner.
Let me ask you about this upcoming Sunday night game between the Patriots and the Packers. After what you saw happen to the Packers last week and how they lost against the Rams, do you think emotionally they're ready for the type of challenge that faces you when you go to Foxborough?
It's a good question. I've been at Foxborough a couple of times. I didn't feel – you feel that the emotional challenge is just having to keep up with Tom Brady. It's not like playing just really in Foxborough. But I think that it's going to be tough. I mean, they've had a tough schedule, right? They flew all the way to L.A., and now got to fly to New England, 2 straight back-to-back games against really good offenses and quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers will be fine. Will the younger players be fine? I don't quite know. But I know Aaron Rodgers will come to play. Obviously, him and Tom Brady are always linked, about their talent, and obviously Rodgers doesn't have quite the championships, but they're both Bay Area guys. I think he's got something to prove here. He'll come ready to play. I can't tell you if the team will come ready to play as well.
Geoff Schwartz joining us here on the show. I know you and I are both kindred spirits when it comes to on Twitter kind of gauging the masses, especially within social media circles of the sports media. Let me ask you, we saw a lot of candy corn debate last night on Twitter. Are you a candy corn guy?
I'm not, I don't have a great opinion on it. I'll eat it, but I don't eat a lot of candy in general. I said this last time. I might be the only person on Twitter who's, not terribly excited for Halloween candy. I want salt. Give me a bag of kettle chips over candy any day of the year, I'll take it. I had 2 pieces of candy last night. I'm not a big candy person. Give me, if you handed out bags of chips or you handed out curly fries, dude, I would be all over that. I'm not a big candy guy.
So you're looking for the Halloween where, as a kid, you could go up to each house and they hand you hot curly fries.
If they were to go hand, to Jack in the Box to get a big thing of the curly fries and hand them out, I'd be in heaven, man. I love some curly fries. Oh,
okay,
so good.
So what's your is the Jack in the Box curly fries your favorite fast food fry?
Yeah, they're pretty good. What's the last time I even had fast food?
Do you like a Chick-fil-A waffle fry?
No, see, not a waffle fry guy. My kids go to Chick-fil-A. We go to Chick-fil-A a lot. I don't know what they put in that chicken batter, but it's like kids love it. They're addicted to it. Not a waffle fry. I like shoestring fries, like crispy shoestring fries.
Okay.
And then I like the curly fries. Steak fries, not a terrible fan of those. Waffle, I'll eat them all. I just
Sure.
ranking the way that I look at them. I love like those restaurants when you get a burger and they come with like the pommes frites, like the fancy French fries.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. I think like the fancy French fries.
Well, we'll end on this. Do you find tater tots to be the trash fry, because it's all these scraps of potatoes thrown in there, or do you love yourself a tater tot?
I don't eat them very often. My son likes them. He's 4. He always asks to make tater tots. I did make carrot tater tots the other day and fooled him. I felt like a very good parent.
Okay.
He ate a bunch of carrot tater tots. Yeah, they'd be at the bottom of my potato. I mean, it basically is like a smaller latte, isn't it? Like just you throw the mash together and you just bake it.
Yeah, exactly. I thought tater tots were delicious, but then we went to Boise, Idaho, and because they are so sophisticated in the potato, they said, no, that's the trash potato.
Yeah, it is kind of like the scraps, the leftover scraps. I can see that being
It's like the hot dog of potatoes. It's like the
hot dog of potatoes.
Yeah, because, the hot dog is like all the scraps of meat processed together, then slammed into like one.
I used to eat hot dogs like cold as a kid, just out of the fridge. Can you imagine doing that as an adult? Oh my God!
Ew!
I throw up instantly.
It's so gross. So you just ate it like it was a cheese stick, like a polio string cheese.
Yeah, I didn't rip it apart like a string cheese, but yeah, I just eat it like I just remember when I was younger. I don't know, 5, 6, 7. Just like now, if I did that, I'd throw up instantly. So it just disgusts me thinking about it.
NFL analyst Geoff Schwartz joining us here on the show. Follow him on Twitter at Geoff Schwartz, spelled Geoff Geoff. He played in the NFL for 8 years. Also, you hear him on SiriusXM NFL channel, and you see him on NFL Network as well. It's always good to catch up, brother. Let me know how you do with Charlotte plus the 21.
I will. I'll send you a text, buddy. Take care.
Okay, man. You too. Geoff Schwartz joining us this morning on the show.